Hello and welcome back. In today's video, I would like to illustrate a simple code that will activate an input box. Input boxes can be a useful function of a workbook when the values entered are part of a bigger function scheme. For instance, in this example, I would like to enter the ELO ratings of 6 players in this game for a video game where they're identified as guardians. And there's 2 teams, the Alpha team and Bravo team. And the values entered here will be part of a function in these other cells, which I will illustrate in a separate video. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to start with input boxes. So let's go ahead and start our sub procedure and insert a module. And I'm going to name my sub procedure input box just to kind of keep it simple there. And one way to do this is to type out worksheets, and we're calling on sheet 1. I'm going to keep the name of this sheet the same. So the address of this cell is the following line I'm going to write. So it's in worksheet 1, and we're calling upon range C2, and it's gonna, well, first I have to put a value. And it's okay if you don't capitalize it. Once you finish the line, everything will fix itself. Input, and then this is where we're gonna go ahead and start the input box and what you want it to say to the user. So right here I am, C2 is part of the Alpha team, so I'm just gonna clarify and put Alpha. What is the ELO rating for Guardian 1? Useful to note is that what's inside the input box does not have a vocabulary check, so make sure that anything written here is written correctly and that anything you want capitalized is capitalized. And then I'm going to click enter, and input box, the first letters were capitalized, value was capitalized, and this whole line is the address of cell C2 for the input box. Now I can go ahead, one way to do this is the fastest way really is just to copy this and then just change this to the cell number that you're interested in, and then change this to 2. But what's also useful is that instead of having this whole line of code in for every cell, I like to make it a little bit more compact, and I'm going to use a with and with function. And what that'll do is that since the location of all these input boxes is in sheet 1, and sheet 1 will be the start of every cell's location, we can do a with worksheets, worksheet 1, and to make this look a little bit nicer, so right here, and then just copy this. All of these lines are going to start in the worksheet 1 location, and I'm going to change this to cell C3 and cell C4, which respectively are Guardian 2, Guardian 3. Then I'm just gonna differentiate a little bit right here, and this is gonna be cell C8. This is where I want the value to be entered. C8. Now we're in the Bravo team. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this. Now it's going to be cell C9, which corresponds to guardian 2, and cell C10, which corresponds to guardian 3. And we're gonna finish the end with function, and also we're gonna finish the sub function. Well, this is for now, for just entering the input boxes. We can go ahead and run the code. What is the ELO ELO rating for Guardian 1? I'm gonna go ahead and say 1236. These are average ELOs of some players, pretty high, but still. And let's go ahead and put 2083. Oops. 2083. And for the Bravo team, now we're in the Bravo team, as it says right there. And it's going to be 50 and 21, 1638. Okay. And voila, all the values that I wanted entered are now in each cell. Now, in the following video, I'm going to continue that code so that it calculates the aggregate ELO based on these values and the average ELO based on these values, and along the way also calculate the expected victory outcome. And this is an example of using both input boxes, and if you're not familiar with the with and with function, then you learned something that might be useful further along the line. Thank you for watching.